Good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the council. Today we have several presentations. One is for the 2024 225 Festival organizers, starting with Myra Richardson, whose remarkable efforts and the dedicated organizers and partners behind the scenes of 225 Fest for 2024. And we're approaching the second year of 225 Fest, and it is definitely poised to be another successful event. This festival stands as a vibrant showcase of Baton Rouge's rich culture, embracing a diverse range of attractions that truly embody the spirit of our community. From an array of vendors to food trucks and a senior zone, museum tours, a kids zone, a mini health fair, an art walk, live performances, and much more, 225 Fest is a celebration that caters to every taste, every age, every interest. It is a testament to the diverse and dynamic tapestry that defines our beloved city. I would like to express gratitude to Myra Richardson and all those who have worked to make this festival a reality. Your commitment to showcasing the best of Baton Rouge is truly commendable. Mark your calendars as the festivities are set to unfold on Sunday, February 25th, 2024, and it coincides with the iconic 225 Day, taking place from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. in downtown Baton Rouge, right in front of the state capitol. So let's come together to celebrate our community and embrace our culture. Many of the sponsors are here today, and I'm going to ask them to come up. Of course, I'm going to ask Myra Richardson to come, Cox Communication, Capital Area Transit System, Emergent Method, Care South Medical and Dental, Planet Fitness, LSU Museum of Art, Coca-Cola, Aetna, Urban League of Louisiana, East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, Louisiana Office of Tourism, Visit Baton Rouge, Downtown Development District, Attorney Brilliant Clayton, Origin Hotel, Red Reed Vodka, East Baton Rouge Parish Library, the Baton Rouge Area Chamber of Commerce, Diamond in the Dirt, Capitol Park Museum, Junior League of Baton Rouge, our East Baton Rouge Parish School System, the Baton Rouge Alliance for Students, Draft Picks Barbershop, Boyle and Rue BR, BRCC Braille, Orange Strategy, Lafette Events, Attorney John Collins, Attorney Brock Fassion. So all of the sponsors are here right behind me. And last time we had a huge group as well. And before we present certificates of recognition and appreciation to all of these sponsors, which we'll do after this presentation, I am going to ask Myra Richardson to come up and say a few words about the annual 225 Fest.
Let's start by giving them a wonderful round of applause. Is it crazy that this isn't even all of the sponsors? Some of them are missing. But I just want to echo the appreciation for these sponsors because, again, 225 Fest is a festival that celebrates culture in the capital region. And we are so excited that last year we had 14,000 people attend this event. And right now, with pre-registrants, we're already at 17,000 people who have pre-registered to celebrate culture in the capital region. And it's only possible because of all of these people who are behind us. We welcomed some more partners just last week. We have several of our historic high schools who will now be at 225 Fest, creating a historic high school alumni road. And we also have several Divine Nine organizations that will be there. So this is going to be truly something that represents every echo and silo of Baton Rouge, and hoping to bring them together on one street, because oftentimes in the capital region, we do stay in our silos and we don't celebrate that we have together and what we have in common. So again, I am so grateful to every sponsor. Planet Fitness just walked in the room. I saw that in the library. But again, we are just so grateful, and we will, after this, be taking a picture over here and one in the foyer. But again, let's give a round of applause to Mayor Broom, who made sure to support and step up and give us this space for today. Thank you, Mayor Broom.
Thank you to all our sponsors. We'll take a big picture right here shortly, and then we'll take another big picture right outside there. But would you celebrate our sponsors once again? And thank you, Myra. You all can be seated right now. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Our second presentation today goes to our LSU Tiger girls dance team.
Come on down, girls.
Come on, ladies. Mark. One.
Make sure you ready to put a picture out there, pal. When they go, when she doing this.
All right. I'm excited to recognize and celebrate a remarkable achievement by the LSU Tiger Girls Dance Team, as they have emerged victorious as the winners of Division 1A Hip Hop at the UCA and UDA College Cheerleading and Dance Team National Championship in Orlando, Florida. This achievement is not just a triumph for the team, but also a source of pride for the entire Baton Rouge community. The dedication, talent, and hard work exhibited by the LSU Tiger girls not only secured them the top spot, but also elevated Baton Rouge on the national stage. Their precision, energy, and commitment to excellence have truly set them apart, showcasing the spirit of our city and the caliber of talent that resides within. On behalf of the city of Baton Rouge, I extend heartfelt congratulations to the LSU Tiger Girls Dance Team. Here with us we have Abigail Trammell, and you could just raise your hand. Alessandra Brown, Alexandria Pierre, Amani Williams, Ariana Belmont, Brielle Poche, Chloe Cuvion. We want to recognize your outstanding talent, dedication, and teamwork, which culminated in this remarkable achievement as Division 1A UCA and UDA College Cheerleading and Dance Team National Champions. Your victory not only brings immense pride, to the LSU community, but also shines a spotlight on the vibrant spirit and artistic excellence of Baton Rouge. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're not gonna dance.
Did you want to say it?
I can say things. Hello. We just want to thank y'all so much for having us here and having us get this opportunity. We are so honored to bring home another national championship to Baton Rouge. We love wearing purple and gold. We love LSU and we love Baton Rouge, and we're just so honored to be here with y'all right now. So thank you so much again.
Thank you so much. And if you wait one moment after we do our last presentation, we'd love to take a group picture with you all. The council members I know would as well. Thank you so much.
And the mayor's office is going to start working on all of y'all's NIL deals right after this. So
That's what I'm talking about.
next up, the mayor president will recognize Jordan and Lisa Tabor, parents of Owen Tabor and founders of Rain Will Bring Flowers Foundation.
Hello. It's an honor to recognize two extraordinary individuals who have turned personal tragedy into a powerful force in our community. Jordan and Lisa Tabor, the founders of the Rain Will Bring Flowers Foundation. Their journey, marked by the unimaginable loss of their son, Owen, has transformed into a beacon of hope, shedding light on the critical importance of mental health and suicide awareness, particularly among our youth. Jordan and Lisa have become passionate advocates for mental health. Their mission, aimed at reaching students, student athletes, coaches, and parents, underscores the urgency of creating safe spaces for open dialogue about mental health challenges that affect so many in silence. Earlier this week, the foundation teamed up with the LSU Athletics and Our Lady of the Lake to host the impactful Planting Seeds of Hope event at the LSU PMAC, initiating real conversations surrounding mental health, breaking down stigmas, and fostering an environment where individuals feel seen, heard, and supported. In a world that often shies away from discussions about mental health, Jordan and Lisa Tabor have bravely stepped forward, changing how we talk about our children's well-being. Their commitment to creating a community where mental health is prioritized is indeed commendable and aligns perfectly with our city's vision for a healthier, more compassionate Baton Rouge. Let us express our gratitude to Jordan and Lisa for their resilience, compassion, and unwavering dedication to making a positive impact on the lives of others. Thank you so much. I would like for y'all to say a few words if you sure.
Thank you, Mayor Bloom, for having us here today. And I would just like to say that Lisa and I had to find a way to transform our pain into purpose and protect this community, its families, and our children. And our son Owen was popular, never bullied, athletic, good-looking, came from a very stable home where he was loved and supported in every way. And I just say that so everyone that's listening to me will know that if our son could fall victim to suicide, then all of our youth are at risk. And we have to change the way that we provide education and messaging to this community to try to affect change together. It will all take a village, and we need to do it together. I certainly want to thank Rain Will Bring Flowers Foundation board members, Shelley Mullinex, Gordy Rush, Gerald Callaghan, Dr. Jamar Melton, and also Donnie Jarrow. I'd also like to thank our partnership with LSU Athletics, Our Lady of the Lake, and also the L Club. And of course, Mayor Bloom. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Next up, Metropolitan Council member Carolyn Coleman will recognize Southern University Laboratory School Kitten Troop 10551.
And I say good afternoon to everyone who has assembled here. Yes, there you go, there you go. And so, this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I am thrilled to be able to stand here and acknowledge some girls that have really shown some good stuff. And so I'm also honored to be standing here with my good girl, who is Blanche Coleman, who is my granddaughter, who's following me because what? She follows the best. And so she will know what to do, how to do, and what not to do. Isn't that right, Mayor Pro Tem? All right. Help him out, Mayor. And so Blanche is here, and Blanche is a senior at St. Joseph. And you know they have to get their, come on, Mayor, get in this picture. They have to get their community service. And so what better time than this? Look up. Because Blanche was once one of these girls here. And so, girls, come on up. You all are the ladies of the hour. Yes, indeed. Y'all make me jump. And so these young ladies here, you all, is the epitome of what all of us ought to be about. And that is their Girl Scout promise that is just the best. It says, on my honor, I'll try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by that Girl Scout law. Everybody ought to be doing that. So know that you all are representing very well, and we're just glad to have all of you here. And then many may ask, why the blue, why the green, why the different colors? Because we have daisies. What else we have, Blanche?
Brownies.
Everybody here love a brownie. And cadets. And so you grow in this thing, people. All right, and so we want to make sure, and I'm going to ask Miss Anya Vargas to come on up here. This is Troop 10551. And so we're going to give each one of these young ladies a certificate.
Okay. First up is Kenzie Welsh. She's a daisy.
Give it up for Kenzie. All right, Kenzie, that's your name. All right. And Kenzie, you're going to stand right over there.
Next is Charlie Hilliard. She's also a daisy. Next is Jolie Handy. She's not here. And she's also a daisy.
Great. There you go.
And next is Violet Vargas. She's a brownie. And now Chloe Wright. She's a cadet. Briley Seals. She's also a cadet. And Demi Amor Vargas. She's a cadet.
And so I'm told that the mega drop, which is when the cookies will come, will be February the 24th. Yeah, the 24th. Yes. And on that note, Kenzie, what's your favorite cookie? Chocolate chip. Ah. And what about you, Charlie? Chocolate chip. 2 for chocolate chip, you all. Jolie?
That's the one that's absent.
And what does she like?
I think Jolie probably likes lemonade.
Lemonade. Okay, Violet. She likes caramel delights. Chloe. Shortbread. That's what I like. That's plain, baby. And Briley.
I like trifles and thin.
I love a girl that has 2. Demi.
Caramel delights and thin.
Good job. And here they are. Come on, yeah.
Thank you so much for having us here today. Our troop 10551, is exclusive to the Southern University Laboratory School, and we are so happy to see you. If you would like to order any cookies from our girls, you can go to sulabschool.com. Thank you so much.
We're going to take a picture up here. We're not going outside. We're going to take our picture right up there.
While they're taking pictures, we have the favorites from each of the council members, and so we will be ordering them and getting them to each of the members.
I like macarons.
All right, so we're gonna do mine first, then his next. All right, everybody look right here. All right, big smiles. All right, hold that for me. Hold on.
Mayor, you could come in just This is District 10. Everything that's being acknowledged today, even those LSU girls, that's District 10.
All right, big smiles. All right, hold that for me. Good. 3, 2. All right. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Give it up for these girls one more time.
Exceptional. Next up, we'll have Metro Council Member Carolyn Coleman and Metropolitan Council Member Aaron Moak to recognize Robert A. Bogan Baton Rouge Fire Museum.
Carolyn.
You're going to take our stuff.
Good evening, council members, audience members. Today, something special and dear to my heart, of course, is firefighters, police, and EMS, but especially with the firefighters. If you're familiar with the Robert A. Bogan Fire Museum, if you've been to an event there or something like that, it's a beautiful place to go to. I'm going to give you a little history and background at that. But as I was out there one evening, I looked up, and it had, it was great. It's the United States flag above the building, but it's the Baton Rouge Fire Department historical area. So I asked and inquired with the board, with some of the events, if they would like to receive an addition to the United States flag. So with that being said, the Robert A. Bogan Fire Museum is an institution committed to preserving the rich history of Baton Rouge firefighting heritage. The team brings passion, expertise, and a deep appreciation for the courageous individuals who have protected our community. So, Robert A. Bogan, during his tenure as chief, he accomplished many things that built what could be called a model for the fire department here in Baton Rouge. In 1925, he worked to get the city to establish a fireman's pension fund to give security for firefighters and their families. In the 20s, he began a system of inspections to reduce fire hazards in the city. He also was the team that brought one of the first motorized vehicles, motorized fire trucks to Baton Rouge. And also, he arranged for all city firefighters to receive professional training in first aid and equipped all engines with the first aid kit. which got into where the Baton Rouge Fire Department became first responders before even EMS was around and everything. So that's a quick history of the Bogdan A. Fire Museum. There's 2 beautiful trucks in there. There's a facility that they host different events. I would love to see us invest in more to do with that, but right now, what I think we can invest in, I asked Ms. Carolyn to join me, and from the Metropolitan Council and from the parish of East Baton Rouge, we want to present the board of directors for the Bogdan Museum these 2 flags to hang with the United States flag above the Fire Museum, but we have a Louisiana state flag to present. That right there, there's a photo, and proudly to hang above the Baton Rouge Fire Museum is the City of Baton Rouge flag. And I hope they're not bigger than the United States flag. We'll have to get you one of those, because I know you're not supposed to hang with that. But at this time, this is Mr. Christian Rogers. He is on the board, and if he has a little information to give about the Fire Museum.
And we are very honored to receive these flags. It has been one of our requests for about 1.5 years now, so we're glad that it's finally come to fruition. And again, the Fire Museum, we are really here to honor and preserve all the history of the firefighters, not just in Baton Rouge, but also St. George. And really, we are working towards becoming the state fire museum. We have a long history with Chief Bogan really setting the pace for really all the fire stations and fire departments throughout the country with all that he's done with the Fire Academy. And I am proud that we do actually have the very first motorized vehicle in our display, the 1919 ladder truck. It is actually on display in our fire museum that the state and the city did purchase for the firefighters. So as we get through Mardi Gras season, we'll be open on Saturdays, kind of coordinate with the downtown food market on Saturday mornings. So we'll be open to the public, and for most of that, we are free to public at any time on the days that we're open. So more to come. Check out our Facebook for more information.
Thank you. And on that, hereby awarded to Robert A. Bogdan, Board of Directors, Baton Rouge Fire Museum. Your commitment to enhancing the cultural and historical significance of our community is truly commendable. The aesthetics of the museum symbolizes the deep-rooted connection between the community and its firefighting heritage. As a vital role in preserving the heritage of our city, we would like to present the Baton Rouge flag and the Louisiana state flag to be hung on top of the Baton Rouge Fire Museum, given this day, January 31st, 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Can I get a picture with the mayor and...
Councilmember Coleman,
Yes.
where is that museum?
427 Laurels, right downtown.
I was trying to set you up. Come on. I gave her, I lifted it right up there for her. I mean.
Anything. Okay. All right. Chicken poo-poo, lay egg. Anything. Chicken laid egg. Newspaper arrived at 2. Anything.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Metro Council member Carolyn Coleman to recognize Blanche M. Coleman, senior at St. Joseph's Academy, council member for the day.
I know I had to do that, but I can do that. I don't.
Tell him it's up next.
I must say in all of,
Okay.
I must say in all of, or many of my presentations, and I made this one whereby, at the end or whatever, Blanche is one of mine, let the record reflect what I said. Blanche is one of my favorite granddaughters. Yes. And so Blanche, as I said before, she's a senior at St. Joseph's Academy, and then Blanche had to have hours. And so with that being said...
Turn your mic on. It's on.
Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you, sirs. And so Blanche is a senior at St. Joseph, and I'm just proud of this little girl here, and she wanted to, get her hours and follow one of the best. So, Blanche, I yield. Say whatever you want to say. It's your day. You good? All right, she's good. She's going to be attending
LSU.
and majoring in pre-med.
Pre-med.
All right.
That says it all right there. Okay. And that concludes our presentations for this evening. We're going to take a brief 5-minute break. So thank you. We'll reconvene the council meeting in 5 minutes. Mayor President,
What happened? What happened? Well, then I'll just cue him. So tell him they're going. He doesn't have control. The cameras just went out, so you can just welcome everyone.
Just go when I'm ready. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday, January 31st, 2024 regular Metropolitan Council meeting. We'll have our call to order. Ashley, do we have a quorum?
We have a quorum.
Our invocation and Pledge of Allegiance will be done this evening by Zachary Councilwoman Jennifer Boyd. And the Pledge of Allegiance will be done by the Southern University Laboratory School Kitten Troop 10551.
Stand up and pray.
Good afternoon. Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much, Father. We're so grateful for the time and the opportunity to be here with so many wonderful, talented people, God. Thank you for the talents that you've given each of us, Father. I just pray that you strike anything negative or any thoughts or anything from our mouths, Father, and just help us pour out nothing but positive energy, Father, and our talents and use them best to their abilities for each other, for the good of this community, Father. We just give you all the glory, Father. May we just never lose your wonder, the wonder of your mercy, God, and your grace. We love you and thank you. We give you the glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Yes, indeed.
Hold on, girl. Wait. Back up. This chair.
There you go. How about this? How about y'all stand here? How about y'all stand here? Okay, if you don't mind, stand here. Y'all hold on. I'm gonna scoot y'all a little bit this way. Hold on.
We got good insurance.
That should work.
We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We'll go to adoption and approval of the minutes. Item 1, approval and adoption of minutes of the Metropolitan Council meeting of January 10th, 2024, the Metropolitan Council zoning meeting of January 17th, 2024, and the Special Metropolitan Council meeting of January 19th, 2024, and the Greater Baton Rouge Airport Commission meeting of January 9th, 2024, by Council Administrator Treasurer. I have a motion to approve item 1 by Amoroso, seconded by the chair. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 1 passes. Introduction. Ashley, please read the introductions.
Section 2.12, Introductions. Number 2, amending the 2024 annual operating budget for the Allison St. Ermelie Fire Protection District so as to appropriate $146,780 from the collection of 2024 property taxes for the purpose of providing sufficient funding to increase payroll needs for recruiting and retention by Allison St. Ermelie Fire Chief. Number 3, authorizing the Mayor President to approve the Assistant Chief Administrative Officer on behalf of the Department of Development to increase the pay of Robert L. Joyner, Professional Engineer 3, pay grade 2290 from step 14 to step 19 by the Assistant Chief Administrative Officer and Human Resources Director. Number 4, an ordinance adopting and levying an ad valorem property tax millage rate of 10.0 mils in the Cheneyville Fire Protection District Number 7 of the Parish of East Baton Rouge, State of Louisiana, for a period of 10 years commencing with the tax collection year 2024 and annually thereafter to and including the year 2033 by Council Administrator Treasurer. Number 5, an ordinance adopting and levying an ad valorem property tax millage at the rate of 10.0 mils in the Allison St. Ermelie Fire Protection District Number 9 of the Parish of East Baton Rouge, State of Louisiana, for a period of 10 years commencing with the tax collection year 2024 and annually thereafter to and including the year 2033 by Council Administrator Treasurer. Number 6, expressing the Metropolitan Council's intention to remove Brandon Williams from the Municipal Fire and Police Civil Service Board for neglect of duty and or misconduct in office, and directing the Council Administrator Treasurer to provide official notice of a hearing to be held at the regular Metropolitan Council meeting on February 28, 2024 at 4:00 p.m. by Councilman Dwight Hudson. Condemnation introductions. Number 7, John Carter Jr., 4289 Prescott Court, Council District 7, Cole. Number 8, Leon D. Johnson and Tawana G. Johnson, 3353 Prescott Road, Council District 7, Cole. Number 9, Thomas L. Dangerfield et al., 149 East Washington Street, Council District 10, Coleman. Adjudicated property introductions. Number 10, Lot 1A, Square 12, Subdivision Banks, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 11, Lots 7 and 9, Square 47, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 12, Lot 24, Square 102, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 13, Lot 4, Square 4, Subdivision Northdale and Addition, Council District 2, Banks. Number 14, Lot 45, Square 3, Subdivision Greenville Addition, Council District 7, Cole. Number 15, Lot 44, Square 3, Subdivision Greenville Addition, Council District 7, Cole. Number 16, Lot 12, Square 28, Subdivision Fairfield, Council District 7, Cole. Number 17, Lot 11, Square 9, Subdivision Standard Heights, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 18, Lot 22, Square 39, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 19, Lot 59, Square 15, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 20, Lot 14, Square 4, Subdivision Valley Park Annex, Council District 12, Rocca. Number 21, Lot 10, Square 35, Subdivision Greenville Extension, Council District 7, Cole. Number 22, Lot 14, Subdivision Fairlane, Council District 5, Hurst. Number 23, Lot 9 plus, Square 8, Subdivision Fortune, Council District 5, Hurst. Number 24, Lot 14, Part Square 36, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 25, Lot 3, Square 1, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 26, Lot 24 plus, Square 4, Subdivision Bogan, Council District 7, Cole. Number 27, Lot 35, Square 2, Subdivision Kambazu, Council District 10, Coleman. Number 28, Lot 30, Square 1, Subdivision Dayton, Council District 10, Coleman. All items that require reading have been read, and a motion to delete item 48 at the request of the department and introduce all other items is in order.
Motion to introduce all items with the item that references Brandon Williams.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to introduce all items with the exception of, do we have the item number? 24?
Number 6.
Number 6. All right, is there a second?
We do need item 48 deleted. Councilman Dunn, would you be willing to add 48 to your motion?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, and it's been seconded by Councilman Cole. I'll make a substitute motion to introduce all items. Seconded by Amoroso.
Except 48?
With the exception of 48, yep. So we'll vote on the substitute motion first. Ashley, open the machines.
Machines are open on the substitute motion to delete item 48 and introduce all other items.
Put me as yes.
Mr. Hudson's is the substitute motion?
Yep.
Oh. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna clear that. We're gonna vote first on the substitute motion, which is to delete item 48. That is at the request of the department. That does not have to do with Mr. Williams, and introduce all other items. So the motion we're about to vote on is delete 48, introduce all other items. Machines are open. Yes or no? Mr. Cole is erroneously showed as yes. The motion still carries.
Thank you. All right, we'll move to condemnations. Please see your separate sheet for DPW recommendations. Recommendations from DPW are to proceed with items 49, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, and 66. I have requests from a few council members to defer items 50 and 63 for 30 days, and a request to defer items 67 and 55 for 90 days, and a request to delete items 56, 50, and 49. Are there any other requests from council members on condemnations?
Yes, I'd like to, 30-day number 51, give them 30 days to complete succession. Number 52, is scheduled for self-demolition, so I want to delete 52. 53, 30 days is in succession. And 56, we can delete it. The owner has abated it.
56, okay. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Any other council members?
Yes. I need 90 days for item number 59, please. 90 days, thank you.
90 days. And do we have any members of the public wishing to speak on a condemnation? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. So the motion will be to proceed with items 49, 54, 55, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, and 66. Defer for 30 days items 50, 63, 51, 53. Defer for 90 days items 67, 55, and 59. And to delete items 50, 56, 49, and 52. Motion by the chair. We have a second?
Mr. Hudson, I think you misread.
Okay.
We have item 50 as being deferred for 30 days, not being deleted.
Oh, it's on here both.
Yep. And 59 was 90 days, not proceed. So I think we're going to need to reread that.
Gotcha. All right, so motion to proceed on items 49, 54, 55, 57, 58, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, and 66. Defer for 30 days items 50, 63, 51, and 53. Defer for 90 days items 67, 55, and 59. And to delete items 56, 49, and 52. Motion by the chair, second by Amoroso. Do we have... No. See any opposition? Seeing none. Amoroso. The item carries. Move to our public hearing. We've have a request to take item.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
I need to go back, make a motion to reconsider number 40, the introductions.
Is it a reconsider, or was the vote, like Councilman Cole's, shown incorrect?
Well, once we,
Reconsider, then
once
we can-
the vote is printed, you have to make a motion to reconsider it.
There's a motion to reconsider, second by Mr. Cole to reconsider. Is there any opposition? Seeing none, we will reconsider introductions. I'll make a motion that we introduce all items with the exception of item 48.
I make a substitute motion to introduce all items with the exception of 48 and item 6, is it actually?
6, yes.
Yes.
So, the first motion is seconded by Councilman Knoll. Councilman Dunn's motion is seconded by Councilman Cole. We'll vote first on, if there's no request to speak, we'll vote first on the substitute motion. Ashley, please read the motions.
The substitute motion is to delete items 48 and 6 and introduce all other items by Councilman Dunn, seconded by Councilman Cole. I am going to open the machines for that motion. Please.
That's the substitute.
That's the substitute motion, and we're voting first on the substitute motion. That will be to delete 48 and 6.
Ashley?
Yes.
Question. If these two fail, does the previous vote stand, or does the
No.
reconsideration
No.
wipe that? Okay.
Yes. Machines are open on the substitute motion.
Vote no for me, please.
Yes.
Motion fails. Next, the machine is going to be open on the original motion to delete item 48 and introduce all other items.
Point of order.
Point of order, Mr. Gode.
Can we defer this until we have all members present? We clearly are not going to reach a consensus, and that means we're not going to introduce items for next meeting, and I don't know that that's the business this council wants to be in, so Can we defer and come back to this reconsideration?
Yes, you can defer.
All right, we'll move forward with the public hearing.
Doesn't the motion need to be?
Yeah, we're going to
had
need to,
and-
we do need to go ahead and vote on the motion that's been made on the floor.
I'll withdraw my motion.
I object to defer it.
Okay. We have a motion to defer to later in the meeting by Mr. Gode.
Seconded by.
Seconded by Mr. Knoll.
Somebody has objected.
Are there any objections to that motion?
Objection.
Are there other objections? Okay, we're going to vote on the machines on the motion to defer this item. The introductions.
The motion to defer.
No, the motion to defer the introductions to later in the meeting. Mr. Hudson withdrew his motion. So we're going to vote on the machines. This is a motion to defer the introductions to later in the meeting. Probably best practice to pick a time after condemnation. After public hearings, perhaps.
Yeah, correct.
You don't have 12 members present. Okay, I'm opening the machines. Machines are open on the motion to defer introductions to later in the meeting. No.
Please put me as yes.
Oh. Try them now. There we go.
Put me as yes, please.
Motion fails.
All right, we'll move forward with the public hearing. Item 68, authorizing the mayor president to execute a CEA with Department of Transportation and Development for subsidies for intercity rail service between Baton Rouge and New Orleans by Transportation and Drainage Director. Open the public hearing for item 68. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Mr. Rayford, do you want to share?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. I have had a chance and opportunity to talk to all the members here, because I don't certainly want to make sure I don't try to get something by any council member, but, I'm going to ask to actually delete the item today. I've had a lot of communication with the mayor's office about the concerns that we may have in reference to the rail station agreement itself. I also have been able to find out through the last few weeks that the RAISE grant funding that we were looking at to help facilitate building the actual train station itself has been pushed back in regards to give us more time in regards to look and evaluate the issues that we want to do. The real reason, one of the big important reasons for me is we had the time, but after reading a lot of the emails that many of the council people sent to us, which I did prepare a packet of a lot of information for as best I could based on the questions that were asked, but there were some things that were stated also in an email, but just as important at a council meeting about what's being looked at and how we want to approach the overall rail system. I will tell you that based on, I've listened to the meeting probably 30 times on the cable vision of that meeting that we had, the issues that were of a concern, and the fact that Councilman Dunn and also Councilwoman Banks expressed some concerns about equity and things like that. And again, what I want to do is to look and evaluate all the options, and part of the environmental process, the NEBA process, requires to look at alternates. And I would rather do that and see what we can do to address that in general and have some factual information that we can have to be presented to the council. Just as important, I think, because of the time frame, this agreement or this overall rail consideration was approved in 2016, and we are in 2024, and there are a lot of people who don't even remember what we may have agreed to or what's actually being built. That gives an opportunity to have more public meetings, which I think is critical, to get input and hear what they have to say that goes along with the overall package. So what I'm asking for is to delete the item. I will probably be hopefully bringing it back sometime in May to have all the information, have meetings. I know Councilwoman Banks has already structured a meeting for me already to meet with some of the people in the area where she was brought up and asked about. And I want to do those things so I can at least provide you the best information to make a decision. And that includes the cost aspect that from the subsidies. I know that was an issue by a lot of the council members. And while I said it was an estimate, I think we need to get a little closer to what that estimate may be in regards to the overall plan. But I just wanted to request that, council members, and I would hope your support in that item.
Thank you. There's a motion by the chair to delete the item, seconded by Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, the item is deleted. We'll make another motion to reconsider introductions, seconded by Councilman Dunn. Any opposition to reconsidering introductions? Seeing none, we will reconsider introductions. I will make a motion to introduce all items with the exception of item 48. What's the other item number?
6.
And item 6.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Dunn. Any opposition? Seeing none, those items are introduced. We'll move now to item 69, authorizing the Metropolitan Council to declare Lot 134, South Dayton Subdivision, municipal address 5245 Fry Street, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as surplus property and not needed for a public purpose, and authorizing the sale of same pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 334712 unto Tanisha Flowers for the sum of $9,600 by Office of Community Development. Open the public hearing for item 69. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Motion by the chair. We have a second. Second by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 69 carries. Item 70, temporarily modifying Title 7 Unified Development Code, Chapter 16, signs for existing legal non-conforming billboard signs impacted by the Interstate 10 widening project for a period terminating 12 months after the completion of the Interstate 10 widening project by Councilwoman Jennifer Rocca. We'll open the public hearing for item 70. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council members? Motion by Councilman Banks, seconded by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, the item carries. Item 71, authorizing the mayor president to receive a grant award of $30,802,100 under the Louisiana CDBG non-federal match program for project Ward Creek Watershed Detention by Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness Director. Open the public hearing for item 71. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on item 71? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and move to council members. Councilman Gode.
I'll go. Thank you. I'm going to ask Clay if he'll come up, and if it's okay, because the items 71, 72, and 73 all deal with the CDBG MIT grant. I was going to ask if he could just give a description of the three. Am I okay to go for the next three items? Clay, just those three items. Substantial funding coming from, I assume, federal sources through the state to your office. Do I understand that correctly?
Right.
Is there a match? And if you'll talk through.
So what this is, Councilman, normally this would have been under the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, but OCD, the state OCD, Office of Community Development, is matching local funding, the 25% that we would have come up with.
Oh, this is the 25% match cover.
So, no, this is 100%.
Okay.
So what they're doing, they're selecting certain projects to do the global match for the state.
Good. So there is no local match for these?
There's no local match.
100% federal funded?
Yes, sir.
For Wards Creek, for Groom Road, and at Memorial, is that Memorial Stadium?
Correct. So
Safe
it'll
room.
be, that will be a safe room.
Safe room.
But it will be dual purpose. And then Breck will pick up the ineligible costs.
Wonderful. Your office administers these grants?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Clay. Great work.
Thank you. Any other council members? Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion. Motion approved by Councilman Gode, seconded by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 71 carries. Council members, we're going to take item 98 out of order. This is page 19 real quick. Item 98, change order, runway 1331 safety area and RPZ improvements, Louisiana Highway 67, Plank Road, Phase 1. Contractor Boone Services, LLC. Change order amount $999,653.41. We'll open the public hearing for item 98. Anyone from the public wishing to speak?
Councilmembers, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 98.
Seeing no one from the public, we'll close the public hearing. Open the floor to council members.
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Councilman Dunn, second by the chair. Any opposition? Seeing none, the item carries. We'll move back to page 15. Item 72, authorizing the mayor president to accept a grant award of $11,646,500 under the Louisiana OCD CDBG Groom Road Storm System Improvement by Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness Director. We'll open the public hearing to item 72. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and move to council members. Motion by the chair, second by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 72 carries. Item 73, authorizing the mayor president to accept a grant award in the amount of $11,608,682 under the CDBG MIT Memorial Sports Complex Safe Room by Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness Director. Open the public hearing for item 73. Anyone from the public? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council members? Motion approved by Councilwoman Coleman, seconded by Councilwoman Rocca. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 73 carries. Let the record reflect that I said CDBG OCD correctly on all those items. Item 74, authorizing the mayor president on behalf of the city of Baton Rouge to add to and for the parish of East Baton Rouge to enter into an interagency agreement contract with the East Baton Rouge Council on Aging, an amount not to exceed $480,480 to provide meals for the youth and juvenile service detention facility for the period of February 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 by Juvenile Services Director. Open the public hearing to item 74. Anyone from the public wishing to speak?
Council members, you should have received two email comments in opposition to item 74.
All right, no one from the public. We'll close the public hearing and move to council members. Motion, we have a motion from Councilman Coleman. Do we have a second? Second by Dunn. Will Councilman Gode, you have the floor.
Thank you. I was going to ask Dr. Wade to come up. Dr. Wade, I wanted to thank you. You provided a tremendous amount of information to me. I posed some questions on this particular contract as a result of some inquiries I got from District 3 residents, and so I was going to ask you to give the additional context that helped me come to a good understanding on this item related to the needs you have at the facility for 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, weekends, holidays, disasters, all of the above, and how that need is met, being met by the Council on Aging.
Absolutely. So for juvenile detention, we are mandated to house youth between the ages of 10 and 20. Our facility is 24 hours, 7 days a week. Because we are 24 hours, 7 days a week, and the youth reside at the facility, we are responsible for 3 nutritional meals per day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The 3 meals are also inclusive of the staff per the union contract because of the continuity of operations, which does not allow for a lunch break. Then, I don't know, for maybe the last 15 to 20 years, we have also provided 1 meal per shift per employee.
Thank you so much. And the 480,480 is a not to exceed amount that relies on if the facility was at maximum capacity 365 days a year. Am I correct?
Absolutely. The amount of $480,480 is the maximum amount. There is justification and flexibility. If we have 25 youth, we receive and pay for 25 meals.
Yep, and that flexibility, also you highlighted that for me, that was appreciated as well. I have some experience working within a school without a kitchen facility, so we had meals delivered, and so my interest in this was piqued because at that school we had about 150 students. probably 128 the provided meal, or were served, I should say, the provided meal. And we had to work with that vendor pretty closely because some days the meal was not to their liking. And so while we were paying for 120, 40 would get actually eaten, which means 80 goes in the trash can, and we're expending dollars that we didn't want to be. So we had to monitor it pretty closely, and so that definitely impress upon you to have that type of oversight, that the meals, which I'm appreciating, are being prepared as well for an elderly population. If they don't meet the needs of the younger population that are housed there, that flexibility continues where that's concerned.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again, Dr. Wade. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilwoman Adams.
I have a few questions, Dr. Wade. Previously, how have y'all been supplying meals to the to your residents?
So previously, we operated as an on-site provider, which means we had a fully staffed kitchen of 5 personnel. As we began to see a high turnover rate,
I'll let you treat it.
we began to put a plan in motion. We saw it as an opportunity to come in with a better method where we would not have to worry about a staff call-in, having a staff reduced to 0, but always having in place a plan that would be able to provide those meals.
And so, when you did have your in-house staff, about what was the budget a year for food?
So the budget per year for the 5 staff came to $214,000 per year. The $270,000 represented the actual food expenses, and so in totality, we did in fact pay more than the cost of this particular contract.
Okay. And how did y'all go about finding this particular vendor? What was your process?
Absolutely. So the departments are charged with following the purchasing and procurement guidelines, which was provided to us by the purchasing department. We used the Emergency Justification Purchasing Act, and we followed it to the letter and to the T. Ultimately, it was decided that they were the lowest, most responsive bid. I would add that the Council on Aging Services offered additional flexibilities that was not or could not be provided by other vendors, including service in our facilities in the evening with 3 meals, holidays, closures, and in natural disasters.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you. Councilman Hurst.
Thank you, ladies, for coming from COA. Y'all do an amazing job. For those who don't have community centers, you don't get to see the kind of work that they do every day, making sure that our grandmothers, great aunts, neighbors, friends, cousins have the resources that they need to live and work and play. And as a part of that process, because I am fortunate enough to have one of those facilities, when they built the new headquarters, I had the opportunity to take a tour. And when I took a tour of those headquarters, the one thing that I told Tasha Clark-Amar, the CEO of Council on Aging East Baton Rouge Parish, that she was a genius, because she saw the disastrous times that we faced in the past. She thought about the times that we potentially face in the future, and her whole goal was to make sure that no person that was under her purview went hungry. And so she created the most amazing kitchen where the entire bottom floor of the administrative building allows them to do what we call microwavables, or whatever you call, what's it called back in the day? Microwave meals or whatever it is, so they have Meals on Wheels. But it is one of the most astounding production facilities that I have ever seen. And she knew that one day would come, and she said, Darryl, while I'm building this for my seniors, I'm also building this for my city. And what that means is that although we have the capacity to help our seniors in a disastrous time, we have the ability to help others. And so I want to thank you for lending your services, for lending your resources to be able to help the issues that we have in City Parish with the resources that you put in place and having that foresight. That's number one. And number two, you brought up a point that we talk about every day. Today we had a DPW thank you luncheon at the Charles R. Kelly Community Center. We served 245 workers that are underpaid, overworked, have to work long weekends, and a lot of times go to a second job after they work 7 days a week for city parish because of the type of revenues that we pay. So one of the reasons that they have to work so much is because we struggle to find employees not just in the detention center but all over city parish, which is why we have the pay study going. So thank you so much for coming to the rescue with y'all Superman and Superwoman capes on. And Dr. Wade, I want you to know that we do have your back when it comes to the employees through this pay study to be able to hopefully find a better solution to make sure that there are no gaps in employment. And I want to give you kudos for thinking outside of the box as well to close that gap. But while you're being questioned, everyone up here knows that we can't backfill employees because nobody wants to make $8 to $10 an hour. And even if you're not making that, that's the published rate, so nobody applies for it. I will specifically speak about a position at Employee BR that's critical to that business. They have done everything but backflips, and people just will not apply. So it's not that they don't want to hire people, it's that people aren't applying because of what we're paying and what we're doing. And so you two working together, two government, a quasi-agency and a direct agency, that's what government should look like. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Dunn.
Thank you. Paul Narcisse, could you come to the mic, please, as I ask Dr. Wade a question? I actually have a statement for you, Dr. Wade. You said something earlier, and I just want you to repeat it to make sure everybody heard it the first time. You said something to the effect about following the normal procurement process. Can you repeat that for me again?
Yeah, we followed the directives given to us by purchasing for the Emergency Justification Purchasing Act.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Narcisse? With that being said, as Dr. Wade mentioned, this is nothing unique, nothing different, nothing truly innovative. All departments are outsourcing services to private vendors in certain instances. Am I correct in that statement, Mr. Narcisse?
That's correct.
Every department?
Pretty much so.
Pretty much every department. All right, thank you. That's all I need from you. And let me state this on the record. I'm not in support of outsourcing all our services, but I'm very in support of a hybrid model of employee and contract. And specifically, I've mentioned this before, with the issues that we're facing as a city parish government and many other cities and municipalities are facing as it relates to legacy costs, retirement insurance, and things of that nature. This is the way to reduce those issues that many municipalities are facing, is outsourcing some of these services. We see this in every branch, every department of our government. This is nothing different. This is nothing unique. It just so happened that the vendor that got the opportunity is the Council on Aging. But it could have been any other vendor who was on the emergency vendors list or applied for this opportunity. And again, we shouldn't act like this is something different or this is something unique. We approve these type contracts all the time. It's just for different department, and the vendor or the recipient is not the Council on Aging. You know, we're having all this line of questioning because it's the Council on Aging. So can we just move forward and do this like we do with any other outsourced contract and stop making this about the Council on Aging? Thank you.
Councilman Cole.
Thank you, sir. Right, sir.
We want to make sure the sign language interpreters. Councilwoman Banks.
So, Dr. Wade, you know, I've been a cheerleader a long time, and it precedes both me being a council member and you working under the administration. But one of the things Councilman Dunn said is that this isn't something strange. But actually, as it relates to the Juvenile Detention Center, it is an anomaly. It is a forgotten, for many years it's been a forgotten place, and it basically fell in line with the fact that when there are families and children that are in disarray due to some crime, then they deserve the least, not the most of these. However, you know, most of us confess to be Christians, and one of the things that Jesus said is, you know, did you visit those that are in prison? And so often what that is saying is that because it is in those moments that persons who are incarcerated long-term or short-term have a time to reflect. And it is not the harshness that makes them repent or softens their heart. It is the kindness of others. And so for that, I can say, as it relates to you as a professional, this is a ministry for you. I know we visited when I was at Ostroma High School, and you cried about the conditions of the detention and not knowing if you could get the kind of support that you're getting today. I know that when we talk about ankle monitors and we're trying to look at solutions, you've used your money to go out and buy pants that would, so that kids could work and keep their jobs without the ankle monitors showing and maintain their probation. I also know that it is under your administration, being a long-term employee of East Baton Rouge Parish, where children went back and forth, and wherever they left, 2 years later, they were still in that grade, so they dropped out. But you're making sure that kids graduate and get Carnegie units. Those are not things that happen all the time. Those are things that happen due to strategic and visionary leadership that is, your tutoring session over here, that is due to the empathy and compassion you have for children. I'd like to bring Ms. Amar up as well. So when I saw this arrangement, I thought about reciprocity. Yes. I thought about the fact that Council on Aging, not knowing that this need would come, have an intergenerational center where you are offering all kind of recreation services for youth to work in conjunction with the elders. Again, that's an anomaly for this city. It's done other places. But this is literally you getting a response that equates to the work where you've already been sowing seeds in the lives of young people. This is no different. And when you did that, it cost you to do that. Those are services that you're offering our young people free. Those are services that you work with BREC, and that your seniors who are now being foster grandparents, if you will, to youth. That's helping with crime.
Yes, ma'am.
And so for that reason, you all have spent a lot of times working on these resources, even with the way both of you work. I mean, this could be culinary, offer a culinary skill through through career and technical with EBR. And I mean, we got to be careful who we let cut up the salad, but you know what I mean. But that could be a culinary offering.
Yes, ma'am.
And they could work under the auspices of the Council on Aging staff. That's something that EBR does during the summer, because we don't have. I know somebody recommended EBR. I'm like, no. And during the summer, we hire students now to do the summer meal. So I commend both of you. I don't know if a motion has been made to approve. Has it? Yes. It has?
It has, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And has it been second?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I don't,
We'll let you third
know.
it.
Huh?
We'll let you third it.
Okay, that's it. So I just want to commend both of you all. I think this is just the beginning, but I can see the next time we have a you're going to have youth that have gotten credentials for culinary, and they're going to be serving our Wednesday meal. So, so those are all the wonderful things that I see in this forging of a relationship, and literally a model for how government and nonprofits supposed to operate on behalf of the constituents in which we all serve.
I would
Thank
like
y'all
to
so
say
much.
that councils on agings across the country that are all funded and statutorily created by the Older American Act, because we get federal funds first. And that's why I brought this book up. This is we call it the Bible, but it's 552 pages of policy. They just updated, and one thing they're asking us to do, pushing, is that we would do intergenerational activities, programs, because if you keep living, one day you will be the next senior, and this information and history needs to pass on. So that's why we opened the intergenerational center. And it is an anomaly for you all, but we feed other schools. We feed the YWCA, Early Head Start program. We've been doing it. We also feed the Louisiana Leadership Institute and their band and their after-school classes. We've been contacted by the charter school system with the 3 o'clock project and Wilson Foundation to do their meals. And we created our facility, number one, so that if we ever have a flood again, the size we had before, that our seniors would not go without. And we can cook, and the building is fully generated by itself. And so as interagencies, we're supposed to reach out and be the leaders in disaster time and other times. And so though you all don't know exactly what Council on Aging does, we do quite a few things. And if you would, I implore you all to come see for yourself. I think I've invited you all several times, but I would love to see you all come in and take a tour and see for yourself what we do and how we do it and the lives that we're impacting. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Councilwoman Coleman.
Yes, and you've answered one of my questions, and that was the other entities that you would be, that had requested your service or that you are serving. And so with this being said, I am sure that you're going to be able to employ some more people as a result of this. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am, and at a better living wage, yes. At least $15 an hour. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. How much are the meals per breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
They are 6 for this contract. They are 6 for breakfast, 8 for lunch, and 10 for dinner. That includes the milk, the juice, the cutlery kit, and we plate them all. They're all pre-plated and delivered in hot containers, brought into the facility and set up. So it's labor intensive.
I don't know anywhere where you can get a $6 meal today, y'all, 6, 8, or 10, not even breakfast. And so we have sat here and approved change orders of $1 million in one instance and other change orders and all of that. So my motion to approve this stand.
Thank you. I'll just make a brief comment before we vote on the motion, which has been properly motioned and seconded. My only issue with the proposal is the length of the term and then the use of the emergency system and the limited bidders. I do understand the resources that Council on Aging has. I think that there's a good shot that they end up being the most responsive and best deal, but I just fundamentally have somewhat of an issue with using limited bidders on such a long contract. I think we could do a better procurement, a more aggressive procurement process and possibly end up with a better deal. I've also had one constituent reach out with somewhat of an objection that essentially their tax dollars, they felt like their tax dollars were used to fund some of the resources for Council on Aging. And so essentially they were subsidizing their own competition. And that resonates with me as well. But we have a request to speak from Councilman Dunn, so we'll move there.
I just want to make follow-up comments on your comments, Councilman Hudson. And again, I just want to reinforce this is nothing different, nothing unique. When you look at the emergency contracts that we have, specifically something you may be more accustomed to is like debris, storm debris. We have emergency contracts in place for that, and it's one sometimes person on those emergency contracts. So the way to resolve that is to put more vendors on that emergency list, because as you know, who's been here quite a while, in those emergency situations, you have to already be on the list to be responsive. So when that emergency happens, by law and by statute, they cannot do a RFP or do a solicitation. That has to be done prior to the emergency. So I understand your concern about limited bidders, and I'm fine with that, but we have to get more bidders on the emergency list prior to the emergency. And again, this is done in other instances in other departments. This is nothing different, nothing unique. They follow the same guidelines that any other department does. And we have this in other departments where, in this case, I think it was was it 3 vendors or 2?
3.
It was 3 vendors that competed for this opportunity. So it's not like Council on Aging was the only one. There was others who had an opportunity. But we have other instances in city parish government where there's only one vendor on the emergency list.
Valid points. That has been properly motioned and seconded. Is there any opposition? You can show me as objecting. Any other opposition? Seeing none, the item carries. Item 75, authorizing the mayor president to execute a professional services agreement between the city of Baton Rouge, parish of East Baton Rouge, on behalf of the Office of Community Development and Terracon to provide lead-based paint inspection and risk assessment for the sum not to exceed $443,800 by Mayor's Office of Community Development. We'll open the public hearing for item 75. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on item 75? Seeing none. Mr. Brown, if you'd like to speak on item 75, come up to the mic, please, and state your name for the record.
Coleman Brown, architect. How many buildings are they inspecting? Anybody
We can
know?
have someone from the mayor's office come up and try to answer that question for you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilman Gode.
Thank you very much. Marley, if you could come up. Thank you. Thanks, Marley. So I think this program,
Hey guys.
I think this program is critically important, and I'm glad to see it rolling out. I noticed the term of the contract, though. Make sure I'm looking at the right dates here. Sorry, through July of this year. Can you just sort of talk me through what this work will be, where it's focused, those sorts of questions?
Sure, of course, Councilmember. So the dates of the contract are because this we originally wanted to and had planned to bring this to you all earlier, but then LED requested us to do a budget amendment within their digital system. And so we're a bit delayed in getting this to you all, but the contractor's not done any work for us at risk.
Good.
They have not
Okay.
begun their projects. The current round, or the current grant year, as it were, for this LED funds ends in July. At that time, we do plan to request an extension once that grant year is issued for us again. This is similar to kind of our entitlement funds that run on that annual basis.
Good.
So please anticipate a no-cost contract extension to be
Beyond July.
executed
Okay, good.
once we get that grant agreement in place. As for the number of homes,
Yeah, thank you.
it varies. There are the specifics in the contracts, but there's an initial assessment and then there's a second assessment. The second assessment is significantly more expensive to meet HUD's requirements. You have to have over X number of dust samples and a bunch of different administrative things of that nature. But on average, we anticipate having full assessments for around 100 homes. That's the goal for how many lead remediation projects that we're going to do.
Typically homes constructed prior to, is it 1981?
1978.
78, thank you.
Which is a little over, or almost half of the homes in East Baton Rouge Parish. If I recall correctly, I think it's 48% of the homes. It's a very strong percentage of the homes in our parish were built before that time.
Yep.
So it's a huge challenge, particularly that our historic neighborhoods, particularly that our black neighborhoods are facing. All of these dollars must be spent for low to moderate income residents.
Very good. And there has been already an application process?
We have a very long list of applicants for our rehab program. And we are not asking people to apply again or anything of that nature. We are adding this to that application list. We'll just might be getting some updated, income documents as we work through it.
Wonderful.
But we won't need to have people apply again.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Absolutely.
love to see everything coming out of OCD, and credit to you for the work you're doing there, as well as the team that surrounds you. I know they're a great team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council members? Seeing none, we'll entertain a motion. Motion by Councilman Gode, seconded by the chair. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 75 carries. Item 76, authorizing the mayor president on behalf of Building and Grounds to execute an agreement with Johnson Controls for the operational service contract for preventative maintenance on building equipment, Metasis Energy Management System, Card Access and Security System, and Fire Alarm System for the 19th Judicial Court Building by Building and Grounds Director. We'll open the public hearing for item 76. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Motion by Councilman Coleman, seconded by Councilman Dunn. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 76 carries. Item 77, authorizing the mayor president on behalf of the Department of Building and Grounds to execute an agreement with ThyssenKrupp Elevator Company for the operational service contract elevator maintenance for the 19th Judicial District Court Building by Building and Grounds Director. We'll open the public hearing for item 77. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council members, motion by Councilman Dunn, seconded by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 77 carries. Item 78, authorizing the mayor president on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Office of Social Services to accept and enter into a contract with the Louisiana Housing Corporation for the administration of low-income home energy assistance program, increasing the amount $179,327 for a total of $560,545 by Human Services Director. Open the public hearing for item 78. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council members, motion by the chair, seconded by Councilman Cole. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 78 carries. We'll take items 79 through 84 together. Item 79, authorizing the Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Ryan White Program to amend the professional services contract with Mesh LLC, increasing the amount of $6,500 for a total amount of $51,500 for 2023-2024 Ryan White ending the HIV epidemic by Human Services Director. Open the public hearing. We'll continue. Item 80, authorizing the Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Ryan White Program to amend the professional services contract with Health Access LLC in the amount of $115,000 for a total of $175,000 for the 2023-2024 Ryan White ending the HIV epidemic grant year by Human Services Director. Item 81, authorizing the Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Ryan White Program to amend subrecipient contract with Volunteers of America South Central Louisiana, increasing the amount to $156,450 for a total award amount $650,000, $766.28 under the Ryan White ending the HIV epidemic program by Human Services Director. Item 82, authorizing the Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Ryan White Program to amend subrecipient contract with HIV/AIDS Alliance for Region 2 and increase the amount of $105,567 for a total amount of $665,060.22 under the Ryan White ending the HIV epidemic program by Human Services Director. Item 83, authorizing the Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Ryan White Program to amend subrecipient contract with Family Services of Greater Baton Rouge and increase the amount to $110,449 for a total amount of $2,845,271 awarded under the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program by Human Services Director. Item 84, authorizing the Mayor President on behalf of the Division of Human Development and Services Ryan White Program to amend the subrecipient contract with HIV/AIDS Alliance for Region 2 and increase the amount of $29,378 for a total of $618,800.54 under the Ryan White HIV/AIDS Minority AIDS Initiative Program by Human Services Director. We'll entertain a motion to approve by the, we'll open the public hearing for items 79 through 84. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll
Council
close
members,
the
you should have
hearing.
received one email comment in opposition to items 81 through 84.
Please show Councilman Dunn as abstaining on items 82 and 84. There's a motion by the chair to approve. Do we have a second? Second by Goday. Any opposition? Seeing none, the item carries. Item 85, authorizing settlement of the matter entitled Chantrell Chavis versus City of Baton Rouge in the amount of $50,000 plus court costs in the amount of $244 for a total amount of $50,244 by parish attorney. Open the public hearing for item 85. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council members, motion by the chair, seconded by Councilman Coleman. Item 86, rescinding and directing the clerk of court to cancel the notice to attend recording on August 22nd, 2023 in the matter of City of Baton Rouge versus Londia Weatherspoon, 2545 Yazoo Street. Reason for rescission, owner wants to obtain permits to restore property by Councilwoman Rocca. Open the public hearing for item 86. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Motion by Councilwoman Rocca, seconded by Councilwoman Adams. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 86 carries. Item 87, rescinding and directing the clerk of court to cancel the notice to attend recorded on September 27th, 2023 in the matter of City of Baton Rouge versus Kinetic Estates, LLC, 6907 Goya Avenue. Reason for rescission, owner intends to sell the property by Councilman Dunn Jr. We'll open the public hearing for item 87. Seeing none, close the public hearing.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Dunn, seconded by Councilman Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 87 carries. Item 88, rescinding and directing the clerk of court to cancel the two notice to attends recorded July 5th, 2023 and the decision and order recorded on July 28, 2023, in the matter of City of Baton Rouge versus Layla Davis and the estate of Calvin Davis, 4465 Clayton Street. Reason for rescission: owner intends to repair the property, by Councilman Hurst. Open the public hearing for item 88. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Motion by Councilman Hurst, seconded by the chair. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 88 carries. We'll take items 89 through 92 together. Item 89, authorizing the mayor president to execute a contract for professional engineering services with Intelligent Transportation Systems, LLC, for services associated with Move BR Enhancement Project, Lobdell Avenue, Goodwood Boulevard, and Lobdell Avenue, Seven Oaks Avenue, in intersection pedestrian improvements in an amount not to exceed $111,749.19 by Transportation and Drainage Director. We'll open the public hearing for item 89. No, I'm sorry. We'll continue to item 90 through item 92. Item 90, authorize the mayor president to execute a supplemental agreement number 2 for final plan services associated with GoTech Inc. for services associated with Move BR Capacity Project Scenic Highway, Harding Boulevard to Swan Avenue, in an amount not to exceed $352,981.73 by Transportation and Drainage Director. Item 91, authorizing the mayor president to execute a contract with Gresham Smith to provide engineering design services for the construction of the South Sherwood Forest Boulevard multi-use path, I-12 to Old Hammond Highway, in an amount not to exceed $42,911.68 by Transportation and Drainage Director. Item 92, authorizing the mayor president to execute a supplemental agreement number 3 to a contract with Stanley Consultants, Inc. to add final plan services to the existing Move BR Enhancement Project, Terrace Avenue, Highland Road to Perkins Road, in an amount not to exceed $47,894.49 by Transportation and Drainage Director. We'll open the public hearing for items 89 through 92. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 91. 91.
Motion to approve by Adams, seconded by the chair. Any opposition? Seeing none, items 89 through 92 carry. Item 93, authorizing the mayor, president, and director of juvenile services to execute a professional services agreement with Convenient Care Lake After Hours, DBA, Total Occupation, to provide juvenile access to a continuum of healthcare services, including screening, prevention, health education, diagnosis, and treatment as the on-site medical director and provider, in an amount not to exceed $150,000 by Juvenile Services Director. We will open the public hearing for item 93. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Move to council members on item 93. Motion to approve by Adams, seconded by Councilman Cole. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 93 carries. Item 94, amending the 2024 annual and capital budget so as to appropriate $5 million from DOTD and $350,000 from the Sewer User Fee Fund for a total of $5,350,000 to provide funding to the University Lakes LLC for facilities of May Street improvements by Transportation and Drainage Director. Open the public hearing for item 94. Seeing none, we'll close the hearing.
Council members, you should have received one email comment in opposition to item 94.
We'll entertain a motion. Motion by Councilman Coleman, second by Councilman Cole. Seeing no opposition. Councilwoman Rocco, would you like to speak? Oh,
yes.
you
Is
would.
there anyone here that can speak on this item, please? Mr. Rayford?
Yes, ma'am.
I see on here that the council had approved this through resolution on 11/21/23. Can you tell me, just give us an idea for the public, why are we seeing it again and what does it entail briefly?
The original agreement that we had included that what DOTD was going to be required to pay us for the additional right-of-way and servitude that's part of the Lakes project on the interstate itself. When we have the funding, to get approved through DOTD, that's what you approved at the original request. Here we're using the $5 million to upgrade the actual bridge on May Street and the road improvements that are necessary. It's part of the package that we thought would be necessary. Otherwise, we would have to find some funds to do that. But in reality, from our standpoint, the city, we're using state dollars to help facilitate the improvement on the bridge improvement and also the realignment of part of May Street itself and at Dalrymple.
Okay, and so as far as the project's concerned, it's still moving forward, it's still, everything is a go?
Sure, I would say that they're making very good progress based on our meetings that we deal with the Lakes Project Group. We're just going through the steps and be sure that we follow through the process that was what was originally approved from the start.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's been motioned and properly seconded. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 94 carries. Item 95, authorizing the mayor president to execute an entity-state agreement with the state of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development in connection with state project I-12 at Sherwood Forest PED bike safety by Transportation and Drainage Director. We'll open the public hearing for item 95. Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Council members, motion to approve by Councilwoman Adams, second by Councilwoman Amoroso. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 95 carries. Item 96, authorizing the mayor president to enter into a professional services contract with Technical Services Group, Inc. to provide on-site broadcast production personnel for 6 pre-scheduled meetings per month held in the council chambers and perform operational checks of all audio-visual equipment prior to the meeting going live. This contract is in an amount of $62,268 by Public Information Officer. We'll open the public hearing for item 96. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and move to council members. Motion to approve by Councilwoman Rocca, seconded by Councilwoman Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 96 carries. Item 97, authorizing the mayor president to execute an amendment to the Cox Communications franchise agreement to extend the termination date of said agreement to April 30th, 2024 by parish attorney. We'll open the public hearing for item 97. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council members, motion to approve by Councilman Dunn, seconded by Councilman Coleman. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 97 carries. Council members, for adjudicated properties, please see your administrative matters agenda. And I'm going to let Ashley read these.
The adjudicated properties are A, Lot 22, Square 102, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder Cynthia Ford, $700. B, Lot 45, Square 2, Metro Council District 7, Cole, high bidder Greater Community Baptist Church, $500. C, Lot 46, Square 2, Subdivision Greenville Addition, Council District 7, Cole, high bidder Greater Community Baptist Church, $500. D, Lot 6, Square E, Subdivision University Park, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder redeemed. E, Lot 12, Square 112, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder Wanda Seals Gorham, $400. F, Lot 11, Square 27, Subdivision Greenville Extension, Council District 7, Cole, high bidder Stallworth Realty LLC, $100. G, Lot 44, Square 15, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder Whitaker Investment Co. LLC, $300. H, Lot 12 and 14, Square 163, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder King's Carpentry, $400. I, Lot 56, Square 15, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder Whitaker Investment Co. LLC, $300. J, Lot 67, Square 14, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder Whitaker Investment Co. LLC, $300. K, Lot 65, Square 14, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder Whitaker Investment Co. LLC, $300. L, Lot 55, Square 14, Subdivision South Baton Rouge, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder Whitaker Investment Co. LLC, $300. M, Lot 2, Parts, Square 2, Subdivision Rosedale, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder District 10 LLC, $3,300. N, Lot 11, Square 1, Subdivision Moreco, Council District 2, Banks, high bidder James Bradford Sr. O, Lot D, Subdivision Travis, Metro Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder Whitmore and Whitmore Enterprises LLC, $3,500. P, P, Lot 38, Square 2, Subdivision Progress Park Addition, Council District 7, Cole, high bidder, Ask LLC, $4,400. Q, Lot 3 and 4, Square 3, Subdivision Fortune, Council District 5, Hearst, high bidder, King's Carpentry, $8,100. R, Lot 46, Subdivision Colonial Hill, Council District 7, Cole, high bidder, Wilton Jeremiah Alexander, $500. S, Lot 40, Square 6, Subdivision Delmont Place, Council District 10, Coleman, high bidder, Clyde Edwards, $9,000. T, Lot 104, Subdivision Colonial Hill, Council District 7, Cole, high bidder, Jacqueline Walker, $500. U, Lot 31 plus, Square 4, Subdivision Scotland Heights, Council District 2, Banks, high bidder, Gregory Lawrence, $50,500. V, Lot 18, Subdivision Addition to Swart, Council District 10, Coleman, Moda own. W, Lot 4, Square 103, Subdivision Estruma, Metro Council District 10, Coleman, Moda own. That's all of the adjudicated properties, and we'll need a motion to waive the rules to allow these items to be heard tonight.
Motion to waive the rules from Councilman Hurst, seconded by Councilman Adams. Is there any opposition to the motion to waive the rules? Seeing none, we'll have public hearing on the motion. Seeing none, we'll have a public hearing on the motion to waive the rules. Open the public hearing. Seeing none, we'll have the public hearing. Yes, sir, come on up.
This is on the motion to waive the rules, not the item.
So, Chairman, so just to clarify, sir, this is on, you will need to speak on the motion to waive the rules at this point, not on the actual item.
Okay, that's all.
All right. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
No objection.
No objection.
Now you can have the public hearing.
We'll call for the public hearing on items A through W. So now would be the chance for you to come and speak.
Mr. Chairman, I have some handouts. Can I approach over?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's V 23-01776. Good afternoon, council members. I am Jerome Brazier Carter. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Swart Addition South Baton Rouge District 10 residents. We would like to oppose and request a denial of application of the motor-owned docket V23-01776. We are handing you a petition from the members of the community opposing and disputing the claim of the motor-owned application filed by Mr. Kenneth Sims. In addition, you're being given photos in the handout of Mr. Smith's current state and condition of his house. Mr. Sims owns a dilapidated house that has been boarded up, unoccupied, and had not had energy connection since 11/11/2008. Information has been sourced from Energy of Baton Rouge, an abandoned eyesore in the community for the past 15 years and 2 months in counting of unkept yard and a boarded up home. In the last handout, there's a timestamp photo of a man cutting the lot in question. That image is being videoed from the camera located on my home across the street from the lot and Mr. Sims' home. That gentleman in the photo is me. I can attest, dating back from January 2019 to December 2019, no Mr. Sims. January 2020 to December 2020, no Mr. Sims. January 2021 to December 2021, no Mr. Sims. January 2022 to December 2022, no Mr. Sims. January 2023 to December 2023, no Mr. Sims. He cannot be seen on camera, not only not cutting the lot he doesn't own, but not even doing the upkeep of the house that he does. All the handouts and more have been, all the handouts you have and more have been provided to our esteemed Councilwoman Coleman, as well as the PA office, Mr. Will Aaron, and the staff. As evident, the application and affidavit filed as a motor-owned for the property listed at 1448 St. Joseph Street, Swart Addition, by Mr. Sims, has been filed under false pretense. I'm kind of under the weather, so I apologize. As I only ask the council to ponder this thought, how can one be believed to maintain and upkeep a property that one does not own, yet grossly neglect, abandon, and ignore the upkeep of a property that one does presently own?
Thank you,
Please.
sir. That's your time, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? Please state your name for the record.
Kenneth Sims.
3 minutes.
Well, the thing of it is, the truth may be told right now. Thing of it is, I acquired my property in 14, so that wouldn't be 15 years. So all together, I cut the lot from the time I bought my place, and this lot is on this side, the right side, if you're facing the place. Now, what happened was, I had a stroke about 2022. That's when I stopped cutting it. I was under the impression the city parish was cutting it. So when I come back, he cutting it. So when he cutting it, I'm like, okay, the city parish cutting it. So I've been to Ms. Donna's office back and forth. But when you have a stroke, man, you ain't finna get back out there in the heat and do what you're doing. Not saying I should have it, but I was cutting it from 14 till I had the stroke. And then I'm under the impression, hey, city cutting it. Now he's saying my property is boarded up. Now what is a man with a stroke supposed to do? Sit there and watch that property and know who trying to take the boards off? Okay, I can show you my phone. I don't have the paperwork, but I can go on my phone and show you where this man right here watch me cut it. Then you lay around and you watch me cut it.
Sir, if you would please address the council. Yes, sir.
But I'm gonna tell you this. I can go on my phone and show you a forest. It's not like St. Augustine grass there. You got tops there. So you bush hog that. And you bush hog that property. Once you bush hog a property, if it's got cane weeds, wild weeds, you bush hog that. So you don't cut it every week. So how would I know that? Because I paid for it, and I also was a part of it. Now in my phone, I got pictures of it. And in my doctor's record, I got, okay, I had a stroke. So I'm done.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So we will close. Is there anyone else from the public wishing to speak on items A through W? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing and move to council members. Do we have a motion? Councilwoman Coleman.
Yes, sir. And let me tell you that this piece of property here, the Baton, went through the process, from what I gather, and it was done by and the parish attorney also was in this with this. So all that has been done was follow the procedure that was in place. And so whether or not the paper that was notarized was truth or not truth, it's been notarized, and that's for somebody else to deal with. And so I am going to make a motion that this property here, that the applicant is Kenneth Sims, and the $200, and I'm going to make that motion.
Been motioned by Councilwoman Coleman.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Dunn.
Except for, Councilman Coleman, would you like to make a motion to approve all A through W?
No, because there are some.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
V, only
Yes.
for V.
All right, so we'll vote on the motion
Sir.
for Councilwoman Banks.
Will William Aaron please come up? So I would, as it relates to the comments of the procedure, I do know that, you know, in all these cases, there is a process, even with planning and zoning, but ultimately the decision is the council's. The decision is not finalized because of the notary or even the bid, if I'm correct. It's based on whether or not this council approves, because of course, this gentleman has brought additional information and pictures that you may not have had. It sounds like the applicant has admitted that he has not taken care of the property. He's admitted that he has a mindset that if he doesn't, the city will, which is a tremendous expense. Of course, I would support whatever the council representative would like, but because the audience is looking at this, I want to make sure that the correct information is being communicated, that, just because you win a bid, whether it's through adjudication, condemnation, all of the legal processes is to protect the city, but ultimately the final decision is made by the vote of the council. And I just wanted you to expound on that.
So on any motor-owned application, the first thing we do is make sure the applicant actually owns the tract that touches the adjudicated property. That's the first thing we do. We also check to make sure to see if there's any weed liens or condemnation liens on the property, because of course that would mean it hadn't been cut. We did that in this instance. We also have the applicant bring in a third party not related to himself, a disinterested third party, if you will, who can state, yes, I know this gentleman, he's been taking care of it. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of other investigation we can do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the best we can do. Now, after having put this before the council, Mr. Carter and some folks had sent the information you're talking about. We had already put it up before the council, and you're right, the council gets to decide which of these gets approved and not approved. So we do the best we can, we submit it to the council, and the council decides whether to do it or not. If you were to deny it, this file could still be open, and it would be an open bid as opposed to a non-open bid with motor-owned. So,
one last question. Under these circumstances, can an item like this, to satisfy all parties, and assuming Mr. Sims is now well enough, I don't know, you're well enough to take care of the property? Okay, because it is in total disarray. And I know when, usually with me in a situation like that, I need a permit. Not only does it need to be cut as it relates to the exterior, but something that seems to need this much work, that for me to approve, rescind, or whatever, you have to give me a permit that says that you're about to start construction. So is that something you were able to do as well? Just asking.
Sir, if you would, sir, if Councilman Banks is going to ask you a question, please approach the microphone so the public can hear you.
You say motor-owned, my property has to be connected?
No, sir, I'm asking you two specific questions. Are you now able to cut the grass? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how long you been well enough to cut the grass?
I say about 60 days, 60 days.
You've been well enough?
Right, I've been working.
Okay, have you cut it? I mean,
no, that's what I said earlier.
So
that
what are you
it was
gonna,
cut, and I was under the impression that the city had went through that because fence line wasn't cut all the way.
So now you are able to cut it?
Yes, ma'am.
And down to the where it needs
where
to be?
Where it needs to be.
Okay, and when would you be able to do that?
I'd be able to get it cleared within 35 to 40 days.
Okay. Now, as it relates to the building, what would it take for you to get a permit, and are you about to do?
I have a permit for my house.
The house that's on it, to start renovation?
I have a house, a permit.
So you're about to start renovation?
Right.
Okay, and when will that start?
Well, that'll start in about 30 days. Okay. I need about 30 days to get it together.
And I have, like I said, I'm going with whatever my council, but I do have sympathy for your neighbors who this impacts their quality of life. And so for me, and this is just me, I would want to see some evidence of that. And, Councilwoman, if you choose to defer and give him an opportunity and the neighbors to see his work in the action.
Councilman Banks, do you want your second 5 minutes?
No, so that's all. It's just a recommendation.
Thank you. Councilman Dunn.
Thank you. I'm not going to assume what Councilwoman Banks' interpretation of what the gentleman said, but what I understood him to say is that he started cutting the lot for a time until he had a stroke and he was not able to cut the lot. And when he saw someone cut it, he assumed that that was the city cut it. I didn't believe that he said he expected the city to cut it. I heard him to say he assumed the person that was cutting it was the city. I would hope that we have some compassion about his health conditions and things of that nature. And I just want us to remember the spirit in which this policy was created, because all of these lots are being cut by city parish, which is a liability and a cost to city parish. So if we have residents that fit the guidelines, that are adjacent and have made a commitment to cut it, even if they had a little break for a time, I think it's a smart thing to get it off our books and take the liability from the city parish and turn the responsibility over to somebody else so they can have that liability and that expense. Now, we do need to hold them accountable for continuing to maintain it and keep it together. But I want us to remember the spirit in which this policy and this law was put in place. If I'm not mistaken, this was Councilwoman, it's Banks and was Wicker? Yeah, Councilwoman Wicker. I'm sorry.
And I agree. I was saying.
Councilwoman, if you would use your microphone.
So thank Councilwoman Wicker for putting this in place, and Councilwoman Coleman has made a motion to move forward. I would hope we would respect her wishes of what's going on in her district. Thank you.
Councilman Knoll.
Billy, I have a question. I just want some clarity. When the application is filled out with the motor own, they assert that they have kept it up to date?
Yes.
Up to time of application?
For at least a year.
Okay, so my only question there, understanding everything that we've heard, does us moving forward with accepting this when the applicant publicly acknowledging that that's not the case, is that legally troubling for us in this instance or in a future one?
Well, I don't know if it troubles the process. The gentleman indicated he had taken care of it. He has not cut it because the grass may have been cut.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the grass is cut. So it doesn't give me a problem moving forward as far as that. If the council would want to deny and send it to a bidding session, then that would be fine as well. It's really whatever y'all's pleasure is. But from a legal standpoint, we're fine to proceed if the council is satisfied.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. It has been motioned to approve item V by Councilwoman Coleman, seconded by Councilman Dunn. Is there any opposition? Seeing none, item V carries. I will make a motion that we approve items A through W with the exception of V. It was seconded by Councilman Knoll. Any opposition?
Yes. I would like to take a look at all of those where Whitaker Investment Company is, and I need to have a conversation with Whitaker Investment. It's about 7 or 8 on here to see what their intent is and where they're going with this.
All right, give us just a second while we compile those numbers for just a moment.
Yes, sir, I have them. GHIJKL.
Council.
Ms. Coleman, H is King's Carpentry.
No, my H is Whitaker Investment.
Oh. The high bidder is King's Carpentry.
Okay. All right.
You have GIJKL. Oh, it's Whitmore. Those are all the ones that I know. GIJKL.
Yep, I think you're correct.
Okay, so
Councilman Coleman, is your motion to defer those? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Defer.
How long would you like to defer them for? Sorry?
30 days.
30 days. All right, so motion from Councilman Coleman to defer items G, I, J, K, and L. I will withdraw my motion, my previous motion. Second from Knoll is withdrawn as well. I will second Councilwoman Carolyn Coleman's motion. Is there any opposition? Seeing
all other items.
none, those items are deferred. And what would be my
Just
proper?
approve all other.
Yeah, and I'll make a motion to approve all the other items. Seconded by Councilman Knoll. Any opposition? Seeing none, those items are approved.
do X.
Item X. So council members, we'll move to item X, acceptance of low bid. Details, Brownsville Fire Station number 72 addition, the Luster Group LLC, $404,000. We'll have a motion to waive the rules by the chair, seconded by Councilwoman Amoroso. I have a public hearing on the motion to waive the rules. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Any opposition?
We'll vote on the motion to waive the rules. Any opposition? Seeing none, we will call for the public hearing on the item. Seeing none, we'll open the floor to council members on item X. Motion by the chair to approve. Second from Councilman Gode. Thank you, sir. Any opposition? Seeing none, item X carries.
You want to go back and do the?
Yeah, council members, we're going to briefly go back to condemnations. Ashley.
Council members, we had a confusion on condemnations, so I need a motion to reconsider the condemnations, please.
Motion by the chair, second by Hurst.
Are there any
Opposition? Seeing none, we'll move back to condemnations. And then Ashley, if you would, please read the proper
Mr. Cole,
motion.
you have one that you need? 63? Was it 63? Who's Ms. Harris? I'm going to go ahead and read the actions that, or the motions that were taken earlier. The motion would be to proceed with item 54, 57, 58, 60, 61, 62, 64, 65, 66. To defer for 30 days, item 50, 51, 53, and 63. To defer for 90 days, item 55, 59, and 67. To delete items 49, 52, and 56.
It's been motioned by the chair, seconded by Councilman Knoll. Any opposition? Seeing none, those items move forward. Council members, if you would, please go back to page 19. We're on item 99. Change orders, Baton Rouge Airport Concourse, A, roof replacement, contractor, Lakeshore Roofing and Construction. Change order amount, add 83 days, $5,091 credit. Open the public hearing for item 99. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council members, motion to approve by Councilman Dunn, seconded by Adams. Any opposition? Oh, I'm sorry. We'll entertain a motion to delete item 99. Motion by Dunn, seconded by Adams. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 99 is deleted. Item 100, City Court Constable Office renovations, contractor Ryan M. Curtis LLC, change order amount $4,200. I just read 101? Okay. And then we'll move to item 101. We'll read it as well. Sales tax, street, and road rehabilitation program, project 18-1, parish-wide, contractor Vance Brothers, Inc., change order amount $331,460.27. Open the public hearing for items 100 and 101. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. And a motion by Dunn to approve, seconded by the chair. Any opposition? Seeing none, those items carry. Final acceptances, item 102, sales tax, street, and road rehabilitation program, project 18-1, parish-wide, contractor Vance Brothers, Inc., final cost $4,725,779.97. We'll open the public hearing for item 102. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Move to council members. Motion by the chair, second by Councilman Cole. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 102 carries. Acceptance of low bids, item 103. We'll have a motion to delete this item. Brownsville Fire Station, number 72, addition. We'll open the public hearing for item 103. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Council members, motion to delete by the chair, seconded by Councilman Cole. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 103 is deleted. Okay, we'll move briefly to item 106. Council members, item 106, receiving a report from Chief Judge Donald Johnson regarding equal voting rights and fair representation in light of demographic changes evidenced by the 2020 census results and the impacts of those changes on redistricting for the First Circuit Court of Appeal by Councilman Darrell Hurst. We'll open the public hearing to item 106. So we'll let Judge Johnson give the report first, and then we'll open the public hearing.
Very good. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the longest serving public official in the parish. Many of you wouldn't know that, but it's been more than 30 years I've been a trial judge in the parish. I was the fourth black person that was elected to the Baton Rouge City Court. I was over there for about 7 years, and then I've been on the district court for about 23 years. I happen to be the senior judge and the chief judge of that court. For the past 5 years, black Louisianians, and particularly the citizens of our parish, have been asking our legislature to adopt fair maps for opportunities for black citizens of our parish to get on the First Circuit Court of Appeal. In the 100 years we've had a First Circuit, there's only been one black person ever to serve. That black person is from our parish, principally from District 10, with the exception of a few precincts of adjacent districts. Let's be candid. None of us sitting here are elected from a district where you are the minority. Not one. So here's what we're faced with. 2019, I went before state legislature and asked them to redistrict the First Circuit. We send 4 people there, 4 lawyers, 4 judges. And the lines that were drawn for that district, we have to draw with the legislation and with a lawsuit, which the state of Louisiana lost. And we had to go to law. We had to go to court. And each time we have to go to court to try to get fair maps. So here's what we have now. The First Circuit hasn't been redistricted since the Clark litigation. Janice Clark, whose daughter was here, who's leading the Council on Aging, her mom sued, and we supported her in that lawsuit, and we took hell for it, for standing up for blacks in this parish, to give them an equal opportunity to serve on courts. And that's what happened. Consequently, we elected Judge Guidry, and he's been there for 27 years. He's the only black servant on that court. He wants to go to the Supreme Court, but we can't even redistrict the Supreme Court, despite 5 judges up there saying we need to redistrict the Supreme Court. I come here to ask you to redistrict the First Circuit, and here's why. 2020, our census told us that blacks make up 47% of this parish. Other minorities make up 10%. 47 and 10 is 57% of the majority of this parish. When that was the reverse, I supported legislation that sent 3 of those judges to the First Circuit from a majority race parish. And that's what has been in existence for the last 30 years. Despite the fact that now in 2020, black Americans make up the majority of the parish, but cannot get equivalency on the court. Cannot even get half of the seats. And I'm angry about that because I'm not 3/4 of a man. And my own state will say to me, Judge Johnson, we don't want to redraw these lines. So we're going to send from District 10 1 black person, and from the whole rest of the parish, we're going to send 3 white lawyers. And of the whole court of 12, we only have 1 black judge, despite the fact that there are 16 parishes, and the 16 parishes, the total is almost 30% black. And I know that my parish will never support a map that allows that. So I come to you to say I would like for the council to resolve that we don't practice this way, not in our parish. We believe in fair maps. We believe in fair opportunities for every person that votes in this parish. And the way the lines are being maintained now, they are structurally disadvantaging Black Americans, Black Louisianans, Black parish residents. So I am asking you to support a resolution to tell our representatives of our state that we believe in fair maps, that East Baton Rouge Parish does not stand for race discrimination. We don't support that. We believe that all of our children, all of us, should have an equal opportunity in serving as judges and lawyers on our courts. And I come to ask you to support me in this endeavor, because if you do not stand up for me, how can I stand up for you when I see unfairness against you? I'm forced to do that. I want to do that. And I do that every day. I've done it for the past 30 years. So I ask you to stand up for me. I'm not qualified any longer to serve on any court in this state, because this month I made 70 years old. So I don't have an opportunity to serve anymore. I've lost my opportunity because of the way I look, to be honest with you. And that's what's happened to me. But I don't want my children, and I don't want other lawyers to face that same predicament. So that's what this resolution is about. I'll stand here and answer any questions that you have. I can give you data. I've sent you a letter. I've shown you the map, and the data supports it. And I'm just asking you all to tell our elected representative in the state capitol to do right by us and do right by those that come in behind us. I'll stand for any questions you might want to ask.
Thank you. We'll open the public hearing on item 106. Anyone from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilman Dunn.
Judge Johnson, I want to first tell you I support your resolution. I also want to thank you for your time invested in this issue and many issues in our parish, fighting for equity and for people who look like us. You have been a stalwart and somebody on the front line for issues like this for quite some time. So we thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for all that you do. I would ask you, have you watched this body? Specifically doing our redistricting? You know, many of the stats and statistics and stuff you quoted today, myself and my colleagues quoted to this exact body. I would hope in a new year it's brought out new viewpoints and mindsets about supporting such a resolution. I know I do. I know my Democratic colleagues do. But this very body wouldn't support redistricting and fair maps for this body, which we have the authority to do. I don't like resolutions. I support yours, you know, because you're bringing it. They're not binding. They don't make anybody do anything. It's just a recommendation. But I support you in it. But we have to first take care of our own business instead of telling somebody else how to take care of their business. So we had the opportunity to give this council fair maps and give us equity and equality and things of that nature for the very statistics you quoted. And I think, as you mentioned, I think it's going to take litigation to get us fair maps and ultimately get you fair maps. But I support you in your endeavors. I'm looking forward to see what my colleagues have to say about this.
Councilman Hurst.
I clearly support you because it's under my name. But I appeal to my colleagues that the same thing that's happened with our congressional districts, the same thing that's happened across the United States, the same things that we fight for today. And just in terms of the African American population, I think we're tired of singing "We Shall Overcome." And the equity that is so off balance in the city, you have been on the front lines, been fighting for an extremely long time. And I take my hat off to you.
Thank you.
And outside of lack of equity, you have thought outside of the box a number of times to create programs to prevent recidivism and to provide great family resources outside of the courtroom, even though you're in the courtroom. So thank you for using your brain, using your heart, but most of all, appealing to God in what you do. And I will support this resolution. I will join with Cleve to present it. And I ask that my colleagues sign it as well based on the data that you presented today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Goday.
Thank you, Judge. Was a redrawn map for the First Circuit considered during the recent special legislative session?
It was not. I had, throughout last year, I wrote approximately 12 letters Governor, Attorney General, President of the Senate, Speaker of the House. And I asked them to consider this on the special legislative session where we just adopted that congressional district, but I got basically no response.
And it would have to be state legislative action, do I understand you correctly?
Exactly. It is a state statute that adopted the present district.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Councilman Hurst.
Hey, and I'm glad you brought that up because I thought about that as we were speaking. But timing is everything. And nobody's going to support your redistricting when they're fighting for their own, right? Same thing with us on this council body. We probably wouldn't have thought twice about maybe the resolution, but joining your fight when we're having a fight of our own up here to get proper representation. So now that the dust is somewhat settled, I believe you would definitely get more support in showing that the entire parish, the largest parish in the state of Louisiana, supporting that documentation that you can carry to legislation. I believe it speaks volumes because the voters put us in office and we speak on behalf of our constituents. So again, I collectively ask my body of colleagues and council members to support this resolution as Judge brings it forward. It may be a piece of paper to you, just signing your name off on it or giving it a vote, but when it goes to the State House, your name speaks volumes because the people put you in office. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Banks.
Judge, my sentiments as well. Just, speaking as it relates to this being a decision before our state elected officials and having just been through a 2023 race. And, I heard you say how you, reached out to everybody and they didn't respond. And, my sentiments are, of course, you have shown your dedication. And once I made a comment, at some point, black leaders get tired of taking the blunt of everything, and you look back and nobody's behind you. And though it does not, because we're called and we're obligated to make change, but I cannot let this opportunity go without once again appealing to our constituents to vote. This is a time we are still at the mercy of persons who may not or who think that our maps are fair, because when there's an opportunity to put people in place that would fight, we don't do it. And you need that support. Any leader that knows that it's an uphill battle for equitable measures on anything, you need the support of people who not are cheering you on or giving you pat on the back, but realize how those things impact everything concerning us. It doesn't, and until we stop thinking that that the purpose of electing people is to help the individual, that it's to help them. And I just think further education, people need to connect the dots. I certainly support what you're saying, but I would be remiss if our people do not go out and vote and have a representation that reflects the data by which you mentioned, then it'll be a continuous civil rights fight that is not just external but internal. You mentioned John Guidry, and when he ran for Supreme Court, it was the lowest voter turnout in Livingston Parish where the opponent won. And so the narrative of that was not that people came out in such super support of the person who won it, but it was more so that in spite of them having the lowest numbers, we had even lower. And so, at some point, we got to look at ourselves and say, what have we done to support the persons and the numbers that are reflected in our data? So again, the education continues. People got to know that it doesn't stop in the booth, but that it does impact people like you who still have so much to give past 70, you know. And at 70, you're working only for the people. You don't have nothing else to prove. You're not looking for anything else to give you a grandiose send-off. You're doing it just for justice. And so until people realize that they are hurting themselves, not the person they did or did not elect, it is a difficult situation. But I do commend you for keeping the fight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other? Councilman Cole, would you like to send some smoke signals?
Thank you, Councilman Cole.
Seeing no other speakers, thank you, Judge
Thank you very
Johnson. That concludes item 106. Item 104, receiving a report from the Department of Information Services on the progress of the implementation of the City Parish Open Data Policy by Information Services Director. Open the public hearing after we receive the report.
Good afternoon, everyone. So you should have the executive summary and a copy of the presentation on your desks. Tonight I'm presenting on the 2023 Open Data Policy Report. As a quick refresher, in 2017, the City Parish established our Open Data Policy. The policy adopts an open by default mandate for all City Parish data. It establishes a City Parish Data Governance Committee made up of all the departments, calls for inclusion of open data requirements in City Parish contracting, and lastly, it provides this annual report on the implementation of the policy. So even though we adopted the policy in 2017, our open data program actually began in 2015 with the creation of Open Data BR. So the slide shows that we've continuously expanded the program over the past 9 years. In this year, 2020, or last year, 2023, we established the Data Analytics and Performance section in the Department of Information Services. More on that later. We completed our work in the City Data Alliance, and were identified as a top 10 digital city for the 9th consecutive year. So our most significant accomplishment last year was the formal establishment of the Data Analytics and Performance section in IS, also known as DAP. We created the division by restructuring existing IS staff into a team that's now responsible for city parish data, prioritizing the integration of analytics and performance measurements across the entire operation, and we did all of that in budget neutral. Again, using existing city parish staff, IS staff. So we also completed the Bloomberg's Philanthropy City Data Alliance program. That was an 18-month program completed in 2023, designed to improve our use of data and technology across our operations. Our team focused on 2 tracks, performance management and data governance. For our performance management, we coordinated with the Department of Development and the Office of Community Development to learn more about best practices for data collection and implementation. This effort supported the foundation of a plan for data training and development that can be scaled to meet multiple departments. We deployed this plan to conduct a parish-wide survey of blighted properties where surveyors assess properties and assign score based on their condition. These scores can be cross-referenced with building permits, crime stats, and other data to prioritize areas of greater need in order to maximize the overall impact of the blight remediation projects. This information can also be used to support future grant applications. The data governance part of this project focused on creating a citywide data strategy to set minimal standards for city parish departmental data collection. Once complete, it'll provide the guidelines that will help us collect and maintain data that is usable, accessible, and can be integrated across city parish operations. Missed a few there. Sorry about that. So over the past year, the DAP section worked to improve several GIS layers. We federated all the GIS data sets into our Open Data BR platform. So that means that Open Data BR is the one-stop shop to find any type of data, whether it's the traditional spreadsheet type data that's been in Open Data BR or the spatial data that's been in GIS. In addition to those improvements, our team integrated GIS data into several systems to help improve efficiencies. DES's MS4 reporting system, Baton Rouge Fire's First Due system, and Baton Rouge Green's tree inventory. We continue to support transparency and efficiency in public safety. One of the biggest accomplishments last year was to include the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office crime incidents into Open Data BR and Open Neighborhood BR. So now we have both BRPD, who was part of Open Data BR in 2015, and now we have the Sheriff Crime Incident data. I still hope to work with the other municipalities to include their data so that we'll have a true consolidated picture of crime throughout the entire parish. That's going to help develop a more comprehensive understanding of public safety across the entire community. In addition to these efforts, DAP continue to support key initiatives like the Real-Time Crime Center and Safe, Hopeful, Healthy BR. We worked with Department of Environmental Services to implement the use of forward-looking infrared sensors. These sensors are set up to monitor discharges in the catch basins and allow DES to more quickly respond to dumping issues in the waterways, which is extremely important for the environment. By the numbers, these are our top metrics for 2013. So every Tuesday we post our hashtag Tech Tuesday social media campaign on the City Parish social media channels. In 2023, the series had over 1.4 million impressions. So what that means is that our posts popped up on people's feeds over 1 million times last year. We continue to update our Citizen Data Academy on demand videos. Now we have the library of 25 videos for the public to use. In terms of direct community outreach, we held a total of 20 virtual and in-person events, reaching nearly 1,200 participants. By the end of 2023, Open Data BR platform will contain 238 data sets representing 12.2 million rows of data. That's transparency at its finest. The public has access to 12 million rows of city parish data. And our EBR GIS platform closed out the year with 84.4 million lifetime views on the 54 public dashboard and the web apps that are contained in GIS. So 84.4 million lifetime views. That means the public is using those technologies. Again, for the 9th consecutive year, Baton Rouge was named a top 10 digital city. This consistency recognizes our commitment to improving internal efficiencies, modernizing key systems, and engaging East Baton Rouge residents in areas related to data and technology. And I'll say it, I've said it every year, and I'll continue to say it. It's good to be named in that top 10, but we know that we're not where we need to be. We still have a lot of room for improvement there. And moving forward in 2024, we're going to continue to work with the departments, try to do more analytics and performance management across the different departments, collaborate with both internal city parish agencies, but external agencies on data. And then we're going to continue to do more community outreach to connect our residents with data. And lastly, all of this information, as well as a lot more that was conducted last year, is on our Open Data Report website. So that's brla.gov/Open Data Report. And I'll close out by thanking the council and the mayor for their continued support and prioritization of the city parish's open data program. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll open the public hearing for item 104. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Any questions from council members? Councilman Gode.
Thanks. Eric, would you introduce the members of your team who are
Absolutely. So, Melody, Justin. So Melody is in her second year with IS, right?
Nope.
First. No. You started in 2023. So she may not have made her first year yet, but she has been with the library before that. So Melody is our IS outreach coordinator, so she really coordinates all of the different engagements we have with the public, trying to coordinate not just the public, but also the departments as well. And then Justin Priola is our new the manager over the DAP section, so formerly the GIS section. As you all know, Warren has transitioned out to the private sector now. He retired, and Justin has stepped in his place.
Thank you for introducing them, and thank you all for what you do. I was asked the other day in a meeting, what are some highlights of the city parish? What are some wins? And in addition to a few other departments, I absolutely named the IS department for the work that y'all do and that you've been nationally recognized for. So please keep it up. Eric, I was going to ask you just the different divisions. You've talked about the DAP division. What are the other divisions of IS?
So we have on our infrastructure side, we have telecommunications. So they handle anything that you can speak into. So the phones, the cell phones, and also the public safety radio system. We have network support. They're handling all the break fix on the computers and the laptops and the network and such. And then we have server administration, who's handling the server, the back-end systems, email systems. On the other side, the enterprise side of the house, is the ERP team that's managing the Munis and Executive systems, the DAP team, and then we have application development that will write programs for the departments, smaller programs for the departments when a commercial off-the-shelf system is either not available or cost prohibitive.
I mean, thank you. I'm excited to see what the DAP team is going to continue to do. We've talked about, a dashboard presentation for our community, and certainly for this council, I think that's going to be some exciting things, perhaps forthcoming. Where does cybersecurity fall within what you just described?
So right now, cybersecurity is handled by the infrastructure team. So we're approaching it a committee-based approach. So it's myself and the 3 project managers of telecom servers and the network support. It is a challenge.
Yeah.
We were approved to unfreeze a position for this budget. That will be a cybersecurity coordinator for the city. It's still going to be a challenge. It's just cybersecurity it's constantly changing. Every day there's something new, some new attack vector that's coming out. We have to constantly assess all the technologies that we're putting in. We continue to be, quite candidly, a little bit disruptive to the departments, because as we're putting in more securities, it's taking away some of the flexibilities that the department had, but it's a necessary evil, unfortunately, because we have to get to the level of security to protect all the data that we're maintaining here.
Yep, I agree. I mean, it's ever changed, ever evolving, the level and the types of attacks that can come through, and certainly for a city parish or for many city governments and county governments, I think it's not a top priority until it absolutely has to become a top priority.
And I am extremely grateful. The mayor has completely supported me. The council has supported when we had different contracts coming up. We had a portion of the ARP funding, because ARPA had a cybersecurity component, was allocated, and we were able to do a lot of put forth a lot of new technology with that. So a lot of my colleagues are very envious of the level of support that I have.
And thank you for saying that. I was going to highlight that's because you and your team continue to raise it to the level that, number one, it educates those of us who maybe don't speak the language, but it continues to put it at, this needs to be a priority for the city parish, because unfortunately many have found out once it's too late, it's too late. So thank you all to the team for what y'all do.
Thank you. Eric, I'll just say real quick, thank you so much for staying on top of the sheriff's office, getting their data to us. That was a priority for us, and you latched onto it and kept on hassling them for it. So we just thank you. That's a great tool for folks to use. I use it actually every day in my profession. So it's a great resource for us, and we're very, very happy about it in the unincorporated part of the parish.
Thank you.
Seeing no other council members, we will move to item 105, receiving an annual report of project applications in the North Baton Rouge Economic Opportunity Zone in accordance with Ordinance 16215 by Planning Director. We'll hear the report first and then open the hearing for the public.
Thank you. You should have additional information uploaded on the agenda. Thank you for this opportunity, Mayor Pro Tem, Vice Chair, and members of the council. This North Baton Rouge Economic Opportunity Zone was created by a prior council in 2016. Part of that ordinance required annual updates to this council, and we're here today. As you can see on the documentation on the agenda, there was 2 new restoration tax abatements in this district that were processed through the LED, Louisiana Department of Economic Development. We're the local governing authority who, in turn, processes that paperwork onto council. It ultimately requires a council approval. So there were 2 properties. They are both highlighted on the report. The first one is 2831 Monterey Boulevard. This was a $500,000 investment to an existing building. The second one was also on Monterey Boulevard, 3044 to 3070 Monterey Drive. This is a rehab of an existing strip commercial shopping center. A little background on the restoration tax abatement program is it's a state incentive providing up to a 10-year tax abatement of property taxes on renovations and improvements of existing commercial structures and existing owner-occupied residential use properties in qualifying districts of the parish. So this particular update and report is unique to the North Baton Rouge Economic Opportunity Zone. You can see the boundaries of that zone. The general boundaries are the city limits to the north and to the east, to the Mississippi River to the west, and Florida Boulevard to the south. So this is an increase. The previous year we did not have any, so we're happy to report there were 2 this year. There's a third one listed on there, but it was simply a property transfer from the prior owner to a new owner. It does require council approval, so you will see that coming back before the council later this year. I'm happy to answer any questions. I do want to give credit to Jasmine Thomas in her office. She's the senior planner that coordinates this program. We wish there were more properties that we would see. We can only process the applications that are forwarded to us from LED, but we're happy to go talk, to your constituents at any meetings or community events on this program and any other economic programs that we administer at the Planning Commission office.
Thank you. We'll open the public hearing for item 105. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilman Dunn.
Yes, I know you referenced in your statements as I was walking in when the previous council created the North Baton Rouge Empowerment Zone. What year was that?
2016.
2016. And I just want to state for the record, because I don't think you mentioned it, but this council, with an item authored by me, extended or expanded this North Baton Rouge Empowerment Zone in 2021. So we did take action on this and create this, recreate it. But without the recreation, it wouldn't be in place.
That's correct, absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Gode.
Ryan, how does the Economic Opportunity Zone interact with our North Baton Rouge Economic Development District?
So there is some overlap with other previously created and existing economic development districts. We have a web map that I would be remiss if I did not give credit to the IS department that's on our website, as well as the IS department, that shows all of the economic development districts that if you're within that district, you would qualify for the restoration tax abatement program. That's the only one we administer in this district, but there are additional economic benefits for being in in a district.
If someone approaches the North Baton Rouge Economic Development Agency, are they informing them of this opportunity, of this as an additional incentive that could be applied for? Do y'all have coordination, I think is my ultimate question.
Yeah, absolutely. We recently added a banner on our website, front and center, highlighting this program as well as the other economic development programs that we administer. There's also a link in an info bulletin that highlights and contacts at the Louisiana Department of Economic Development, because that's where it initiates. Any questions, please contact our office, and we'll certainly walk you through the programs that are eligible and answer any questions that you would have.
Thank you. And the 6 stars on the map you provided attached to the agenda are the 6 projects that have applied through the program. Do I have that correct?
In 2023, yes, that's correct.
Oh, this 6 in 23, because I see a few of them fall outside the boundaries. So. Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Councilwoman Banks. Microphone, please.
Just briefly, when John Delgado was the one that began the Economic Opportunity Zone that has been amended by Councilman Dunn, my issue is that it's like there's not enough education. Would it be you, Ryan, that would let people get an understanding of the Economic Opportunity Zone? And do you, in this report, I don't see the data that kind of like, and maybe talks about who specifically are taking advantage of it, and like who the applicants are, the projects, where they're located. Do you have anything on that?
It is on the spreadsheet. I have the additional addresses here.
Okay.
LED would have that additional information, and every one of these projects highlighted does and did require council approval by this body. So that the applicants are required to come before.
I remember some previous, but were there any in 2023?
There were, these are the ones that we processed in 2023. There were not any, unfortunately, there were none in 2022.
Gotcha.
The
Okay.
previous year.
All right, thank you.
Councilman Dunn.
Quick question and a few comments, and I'm glad Councilwoman Banks referenced former Councilman Delgado, since we're referencing former council people who originally authored this item. But my question is about the map, and Councilman Moak brought up a valid concern about adjusting the map and increasing other parts of North Baton Rouge that's not currently in the map. Do we have the ability, the authority to edit or change this map prior to the 5-year anniversary, Ryan?
It's my understanding it can be. This body does. I would encourage a conversation with LED, and we'll certainly participate in that.
Okay.
There are other, as I mentioned, there are other qualifying economic development districts. I would encourage you to visit our website, and you can see.
So
those.
that was a point that I think Councilman Hurst mentioned in our sidebar over here. Do you think some of the areas that's excluded, that is Norfolk, Florida, was because of those other economic development districts, or?
I can't say. I know you have to be in a qualifying census tract that drives a lot of this,
Okay.
and it has to be approved by their governing body as well.
All right. When I looked at the item to recreate it or continue it for another 5 years, I didn't even think to look at the map and make any adjustments. But I'd love to have some conversation with you and my council colleagues about other areas north of Florida that we could include. If you guys were paying attention or remember, when Councilman Delgado brought this item, there were no economics incentives of this kind in North Baton Rouge, and this was the first that incentivized development in North Baton Rouge that he brought, which was a huge win for North Baton Rouge to incentivize economic development. So that's why when I got on the council, I remembered it and wanted to make sure that we continue it and expand it. But we'd love to look at the map and see if we can include other areas that don't disrupt anything else that's already in place.
Thank you. Seeing no other speakers, we'll move to item 107, emergency item. Council members, there'll be a motion to delete this item, item 107, condemnation item. Open the public hearing for item 107. Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Motion by the chair to delete, seconded by Councilman Cole. Any opposition? Seeing none, item 107 is deleted. We'll entertain a motion to
Can Councilman
adjourn.
Cole give us a motion to adjourn?
Can we sign it? We out? Motion by Councilman Cole, seconded by Amoroso. Any opposition? Seeing none, we are adjourned.